think they're totally changed already. So I've spoken to a lot of CFOs and COOs since the start of the year. And I think, take a typical CFO. What's a CFO doing now? They're cash war rooms all around the globe. Nobody knew what a cash war room was 6 months ago. What do I do with my assets? Scenario planning is gigantic. Nobody knows what the outcomes are going to be. Nobody knows when things are going to reopen. Nobody knows when their supply chain is going to be back online, those kind of things. So you can't plan for it, but you can say, here are 3 or 4 different options, and let's make sure we're prepared for them. So scenario planning is important. Communication plan. I think the CFOs are being super, super, super thoughtful now about communicating in a consistent way about how they're thinking about the new world, this new environment. They're all, I think, looking at their investments. Look at, how's my balance sheet doing? How's my M&A portfolio? Maybe it's a good time to buy some companies. Maybe it's a good time to divest some things that aren't so important to me. So I think the CFOs are going through this very interesting time where they're really trying to help stabilize a ship moving forward in a sea of uncertainty. So that's their role. Now the COO. So what are the COOs doing? The COOs, they're first noticing, okay, let's see, what did this pandemic do? It disrupted my supply chain. I better work on that. It forced everybody to work from home. Oh, I better work on that. And it exposed all the places where I don't have digitized processes in my company. So I think the COOs are all around that whole thought process. How do you increase productivity through digital transformation? So there's a great opportunity for COOs, for CIOs, and business leaders to say, hey, we found something wonky in our business. It takes sales process, and restarting that in our old normal way, the way we used to do business, isn't appropriate anymore. So moving forward in these different scenarios, it's important we restart and think about how we can transform how we communicate with customers, how we help customers, how we can create resilience and reduce exposure to the business. So I think they're focused on the resiliency and stabilization of their operations. And the more global a company you are, the more issues you expose. I know I've talked to COOs that are now planning for 60% of their workforce. These are companies with tens of thousands of people, high tens of thousands, 60% of your workforce to be remote when before it was in the 20% range. We've all heard stories of, high-tech companies saying, yeah, we're going to have a 100% option for people to work remotely. So you have to think about, what is this global workforce? What does global work look like? What does remote work like? In some sense, it's a really exciting time. I mean, it's high stress, I'm sure, for these folks, but it's exciting that you can accelerate a place that you could have imagined your company being by 5 years. And it's like, yeah, I would have done it. It would have taken a long time. We would have used old processes, but people are getting a lot more clever about saying, hey, let's do a little time out here on this particular element of my business process and look at how this could be totally different for our company and get to the new normal, get to a place that's stronger and more resilient.